Now this could be a mild exaggeration, but in the 1940s their manoeuvrability and thrust to weight ratio were completely unmatched on the battlefield. The sheer numbers a wealthy British Air Force were able to produce in comparison with the cash-strapped but endlessly expansionist Luftwaffe only added to the Allies' total air superiority. And obviously this isn't 1942, this is Battlefield 5. What a depressing sentence to have to string together. But what it equates to in-game is a sense of balance between the Mark V A and B Spitfires and the German Messerschmitt BF109s, which turn out to be quite comparable when appropriately specialised. Back in the real world, the Supermarine Spitfire had quite the interesting evolution, with early designs based on requests by the RAF, being some of the last biplanes ever to see combat, and competing with the Hawker Hurricanes for favour and largesse of the military. Leaving aside the Hurricanes, which don't actually appear in Battlefield 5 and were in fact the primary air vehicle in the Dunkirk evacuation, there was the Spitfire's elliptically shaped leading edge wings that proved a pivotal design feature that would give it the advantage over other British competitors. Not only could they store extra gallons of fuel for long range reconnaissance, they were also designed to each house 2 Browning 303 machine guns for a total of 4, capable of 1,000 rounds per minute. Now, a leading gentleman by the moniker Air Vice Marshal Hugh Stuffy Dowding doubled the Spitfire's offensive power. Obviously, weight is an imperative getting so much off the ground, so to bulk it up to 4 303 machine guns per wing was no small feat. But alas, this apparent madness has a method. Local testing had shown ace fighters were generally able to keep large, slow-moving vehicles like strategic bombers in their sights for roughly 2 seconds, and with Stuffy's improvements, the Supermarine Spitfire could throw forward enough lead to ensure they never made it home. Now let's say 2,000 rounds a minute's just under 34 bullets per second. Multiply that by 8 guns and you've got 266 bullets a second times 2 seconds on target means the best part of 532. 303 caliber bullets shredding your fuselage, enough chunks of flying metal to tear holes right through the enemy and begin an involuntary descent. Let's all be grateful EA Dice gave us old mate Stuffy's Specialisation as the first in a diverse line of hybrid fighter interceptors, the Spitfire Mark V A, because nothing can match it on the German side, let me tell you. The Messerschmitt BF109, just like the Spitfire, was the spine of the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe. It came a little earlier than the Spitties, first seeing combat in 1937 in the Spanish Civil War. This experience alone gave Hitler's Third Reich many years to refine and improve upon the closed cabin, straight wing design, but also left the Spitfires with a minor technological advantage, whether perceived or real. The Messerschmitt lacks a certain edge in manoeuvrability that, of course, can be corrected with the appropriate specializations, but the same can't be said for offensive power. No option of 8 forward-firing 7.7mm machine guns here, and if you're after something heavier like 20mm autocannons, you have to forgo 2 of your existing 4 light machine gewehrs. That's a pretty limiting setup. You're significantly better off opting for specializations like air-to-air radar and an armoured fuselage, neutralising the enemy's advantages. So whatever team you're on, and remember Battlefield 5 doesn't give you the choice, you're going to have to make do with what you've got, so choose your upgrades wisely, far more wisely than I ever did, because the second versions of these fighters are fully equipped destroyer packages, with heavy weaponry and better armour. I certainly didn't need those 20mm autocannons on the first edition of the Spitfire. Keep your primary fighters in that role, primary fighters, and you'll do fine, just fine.